कृष्णा, केवल बोलो।
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrja Chakracharya Ashtottar Shri Srimad Divine Geshri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki
Jai.
नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय।
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
जय।
मथुरापुरी वृंदावन धाम की
जय।
गंगा माई जमुना माई की
जय।
तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की
जय।
श्याम वेद भक्त वृंद की
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरे हरे बोल।
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hari Hari.
Jai, glories to go to Lord Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasa tato jaya mudiraye shrunvatam swakatah krishnah punya shravana kirtanah hridyantarstho hi abhadrani vidanoti srahatsatam nashtaprayeshu avadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtuki. Hare Krishna devotees, we are reading Canto 1, Chapter 10, text number 29, and I will read it 3 times. Then you can repeat it, please. Ya virya suklena shulkena rataha swayamvare pramathya chaidhya pramukhana hi shushminaha pradyumna sambha suta dayo para या शच्राहता भौम वदे सहस्रश सवीर्य शुक्लेन हृता स्वयंवरे प्रमाथ्य चैद्य प्रमुखान् हि शोष्मिनः प्रद्युम्न शाम्भा सुतदयो परा या शच्राहता भौम वदे सहस्रशः सावीर्य शुल्केन हृतः स्वयंवरे प्रामाथ्य चैद्य प्रमुखान् हि शूष्मिणः प्रद्युम्न शाम्भा सुतादयो परा याश्चाहृता भौम वधे सहस्रशः. Please recite.
Hare Krishna. Yavira Shulkina Rita Swayamvari Pramatya Chadya Pramukhan Hi Shasminaha Pradyama Yamna Sambhava Satsuta Deo Para Yascharita Bauma Vedhe Avadhe Sahasrashaha. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ya virya sulke nahitaha swayamvare pramadhya chedya pramukhan hi shushminaha pradyumna sambam masutadayo para yascha hata bhoma vade sahasrashaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
या वीर्यशुल्केन हतः स्वयंवरे प्रमथय चेद् प्रमुखान् पीशुषमिणः प्रधुम्नः ताम्बाम्बस्तु सुतोदयो परा याश्वाहता भौमवधे सहस्रशः.
Hare Krishna. या वीर्यशुल्केन हितः स्वयंवरे प्रमथ्यचैत्या प्रमुखान् हि सुष्मिनाः प्रद्युम्नस्तम्भाम्बुसुतादयो अपरा याश्चरिता भौमवधे सहस्रासः.
हरे कृष्ण. या वीर्यशुल्केन हरिता स्वयंवरे प्रमथचैदा प्रमुखान् हि सुष्मिना प्रद्युम्न सम्भव श्रुतदाय पारा यश्च हेता भौम वदे सहस्रः.
यवीर्यशुल्केन हृता स्वयंवरे प्रमथ्य चैद्या प्रमुखान् हि सुष्मिना प्रद्युम्न शाम्भाम्बसुधादया परा यश्चार्हतभौमवधे सहस्रशः.
या वीर्यशुल्केन हृता स्वयंवरे प्रमथ्य चैत्या प्रमुखान् हि सुष्मिनः प्रद्युम्न साम्बाम्बसुतादयो परा यश्चाहृता भौमवधे सहस्रशः.
Anyone else would like to say? Okay, so I'll decide. या वीर्यशुल्केन हरता स्वयंवरे प्रमथ्यचैद्या प्रमुखान् हि सुष्मिना प्रद्युम्न साम्बां सुतादयो परा याश्च हरता भौमावधे सहस्रशः. Synonyms. Ya, the lady, Virya, prowess, Shukena, by the payment of the price, Rata, taken away by force, Swamvare, in the open selection of bridegroom, Pramathya, harassing, Chedya, King Shishupal, Pramukhan, headed by, he, positively, Shushmina, all very powerful, Pradyumna, King's son, Samba, Sam, Amba, Sutadya, children, Apara, other ladies, Ya, those, Cha also, Ahrataha, similarly brought, Bhoma Vadhe, after killing kings, Shastrasa, by the thousands. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvin Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The children of these ladies are Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, etc. Ladies like Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambati were forcibly taken away by him from their Swamvara ceremony after he defeated many powerful kings headed by Shishupal. And other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Bhaumasura and thousands of his assistants. All of these ladies are glorious. Purport. Exceptionally qualified daughters of powerful kings were allowed to make a choice of their bridegrooms in the open competition. And such ceremonies were called Swayamvara, or selection of the bridegroom. Because the Swayamvara was an open competition between the rival and the valiant princes, such princes were invited by the father of the princes, and usually there were regular fights between the invited princely order in a sporting spirit. But it so happened that sometime the belligerent princes were killed in such marriage fighting, and the victorious prince was offered the trophy princes for whom so many princes died. Rukmini, the principal queen of Lord Krishna, was the daughter of king of Vidarbha, who wished that his qualified and beautiful daughter be given away to Lord Krishna. But her eldest brother wanted her to be given away to King Shishupal, who happened to be a cousin of Krishna. So there was open competition, and as usual, Lord Krishna emerged successful after harassing Shishupal and other princes by his unrivaled prowess. Rukmini had 10 sons like Pradyumna. There were other queens also taken away by Lord Krishna in a similar way. Full description of this beautiful booty of Lord Krishna will be given in the 10th canto. There were 16,100 beautiful girls who were daughters of many kings and were forcibly stolen by Bhaumasura, kept them captive for his carnal desires. These girls prayed piteously to Lord Krishna for their deliverance, and the merciful Lord, called by their fervent prayer, released them all by fighting and killing Bhaumasura. All these captive princesses were then accepted by the Lord as his wives. Although in the estimation of society they were all fallen girls, the all-powerful Lord Krishna accepted the humble prayers of these girls and married them with the adoration of queens. So altogether, Lord Krishna had 16,108 queens at Dwarka, and each of them he begot 10 children. All these children grew up and each had as many children as the father. The aggregate of the family numbered in the millions. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचरणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधरणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरदस्य ज्ञानंजना शलाकया चक्षुर्मितां येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदिकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं भजे साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्यम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादम सहगण श्री विशाखान्वितम हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधा कांत तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। यम प्रवजन्तम अनुपेतमपेत्य कृत्यम द्वैपायनो विरकातरजुहा पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूत हृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावम् अखिल श्रुति सारमेकम् आध्यात्म दीपमृतश्राम तुमन्दं संसारणं करुणाय पुराणगुह्यं तं व्यासनम् उपयामि गुरुमुनिना नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। श्रवणतां सुकथा कृष्णः पुण्यस्मरणकीर्तनः हरदन्ते स्तुभद्रणे विघ्नोति श्रुतं नष्टप्रायश वद्येषु नित्यं भागसेविनं भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी। हरे कृष्ण। So I'll read one more time the verse. Yavirya shulkena harata swayamvare paramatya chedya pramukhan shushmina pradyumna sambam sutadayo para yascha harta boma vadesha hastrasa. So this is these are talks between the ladies who are basically like on the roof of the palaces in Hastinapur when Lord Krishna was passing away from while leaving the Hastinapur. So all these the residents of Hastinapur, they were offering prayers and they were glorifying Krishna. So here they are glorifying that how Krishna actually like got 16,108 wives. So here he says that Yavirya Shulkena Harata Swayamvare. So all see Lord Krishna, like generally uh, in a normal time, like like when a person get married, it's like more or less happy time. Everything is like very wonderful, pleasing. Everything is in agreement, no fighting. But here is mentioned that in Krishna's weddings, almost all the weddings, Krishna has to fight very severely before getting the married. He has to, like, because he's a kshatriya, he's son of Vasudev, and for that he has to, like, almost all the weddings, like all the wives that he got, like he has to fight very severely. So here it says that mm, like sulkena means by the payment of price, means like fighting swamvare. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned here in this, in the Vedic system, especially in the royal families, there was a way of doing marriages called swamvara. So overall, like if you see in a Vedic system, there are 8 types of marriages. In that, Srila Prabhupada says that the best marriage is that when uh, girl's father or family look for a suitable boy, and then when they see the boy, they talk each other and they get arrange each other, and then with that arrangement between the two families, the boys and girl get married, and with proper ceremony and inviting all the relatives, all the friends, all the brahmanas and everyone, nice Vedic sacrifice will be performed, and nice feast will be there, and nice gift of exchange, and the whole custom will go on. So that is a first class way of marriages. But in case of Krishna, in almost all the marriages, he has to fight. So because he was he married to many princesses. So they were all in royal orders, and they were all most of them were basically like having a swamvar ceremony. And then in swamvar ceremony, like as Prabhupada mentioned, that swamvar ceremony is like a what do you call it? Is a sporting match, like a sporting game, where all the prince from the different kingdom, they come and they fight. They fight because there was a competition given. Say if you see in the case of Draupadi and Arjuna's marriage, so Draupadi's father, Drupad, he put a condition because he was looking for a like match for Arjuna, because Arjuna was the best archer. So he was looking for someone who can actually beat Arjuna. So for that, he put a condition that if whoever basically can hit the eye of the fish revolving in the sky, and by looking into the image into the water or the oil on the ground. So in that way, in that marriage, that competition was very, very tough. And like many princes, they came and tried, but Arjuna was successful, who was basically like in disguise as a Brahmana, but he was successful and he win Draupadi. Similarly here, we see Lord Ram. Lord Ram also, when he was in Janakpuri, so Vishwamitra actually like heard that there is a ceremony going on, which is swamvar ceremony for Sita. So for that, Vishwamitra brought Lord Ram and Lakshmana to Janakpuri, and they are all visiting the assembly. So during the time when there was swamvar ceremony was going on, so Ram and Lakshmana, they were not actually participating; they were visitors. Because they were under Vishwamitra, but because nobody was able to fulfill the condition, because condition was to basically pull the bow of Lord Shiva and try to put an arrow on that. So nobody was even like able to lift the bow. It was so heavy, so powerful. So ultimately, like Vishwamitra ordered Lord Ram to actually fulfill the desire of Janak Maharaj, because that condition was very difficult, because nobody could win the hand of Sita because of that. So ultimately, Lord Ram pulled not even he lifted the Lord Shiva's bow, but actually broke the bow. And because of that, like there was a big debate or big like argument with Lord Parshuram also at that time. But ultimately, like Lord Ram win the Sita, and then he got married. So similarly here, in case of Lord Krishna, like if we see the first marriage that Lord Krishna had with Rukmini. So Lord Krishna was a prince in Dwarka, and Rukmini, she actually never saw Lord Krishna. She never saw Lord Krishna, but she heard from Narad Muni. She heard from Narad Muni about the qualities of Lord Krishna. That how beautiful, how wonderful, how merciful, how attractive Lord Krishna is. So by hearing about Krishna, Rukmini become attracted towards Krishna. So when Rukmini's father Bhishmaka, like he's the king of Vidarbha, he wanted to marry Rukmini to Lord Krishna actually, and his mother also Rukmini's mother also agreed, and all other family members, they were all agreed to marry Rukmini to Krishna. But Rukmini's elder brother Rukmi, he was a friend of Shishupal and Jarasan. So, but they were basically like he was planning to marry his sister Rukmini to Shishupal, who was basically king of Chaitya king. So what happened is because Rukmi was very powerful, he was like commander in chief. His father could not stop him. Generally, like it is in a family, the father's words are the final. But in this case, like Rukmi was very powerful, and he was getting supported from Jarasandh and Shishupal. They were very powerful people. So ultimately, Rukmi's father Bhishmaka could not stop Rukmi. So Rukmi arranged a marriage of Rukmini to Shishupal, and the whole thing was decided, and everything was decided. Date was decided, the time was decided. So Rukmi, like Shishupal, he became the bride, he became the groom, and he was coming on a horse. That's the way like he was coming, and the whole Bharat, what you call the marriage procession came to Vidarbha, and everyone was ready and everything was going on, right? But at that time, like Rukmini, because she wanted to marry Lord Krishna, she decided that Lord Krishna will be my husband. So she wrote a letter and she gave it to one Brahmana and told Brahmana to go and give this letter to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna got this letter, and just before the day of marriage, before that, normally girls, they go to Lord Shiva's temple and Goddess Durga's temple for worship. So at that time, when Rukmini was out from the house on that day, Lord Krishna actually arrived there, and then he kidnapped Rukmini. So when Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, all these kings, Jarasan, Shishupal, Rukmi, they were all basically become very furious, and they start fighting with Krishna. And then Krishna defeated everyone. Actually, he was ready to kill Rukmi, but by the prayer of Rukmini, he actually left Rukmi there. But ultimately, Lord Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, and then he brought Rukmini and get married. So that was like one way. So Krishna to fight very, very hard to get Rukmini. And the second one, there was a Yadav king, whose name was Satrajit. He was a great worshipper of Lord, Suradev. So by worshipping Suradev, he got one special jewel called Samantak jewel. Right? The Samantak jewel was such a wonderful jewel was that it used to give 80 kgs of gold every day in the house which that Samantak jewel was worshipped. So because of that Satrajit was very, very rich, very, very rich. So one day Satrajit, he was wearing that Samantak jewel and came to the assembly, and everyone was surprised because it was so bright that everyone thought like Suradev directly coming into the assembly. But when he came there, then everyone saw, oh, it's Satrajit actually, he's coming wearing this Samantak jewel. So when he came to the assembly of Dwarka, so then Lord Krishna told Satrajit, hey, this is a very precious jewel, you should not keep it because it can basically create problem for you, because it's giving 80 kgs gold every day. It's not a joke. It's like so much wealth, and you might get killed because of that, or maybe something might happen to you. So you should give this to the king. You should give this to the Ugrasen, because Ugrasen was the king. Satyajit said, no. Why should I give it to? Why you want me to give it to like a king? It's my property. I'll take it. I'll keep it. So then he kept it, like, he just like kept it. But so one day what happened is his brother Prasanjit, he was wearing that Samantha jewel, and he went to the forest. When he went to the forest, one lion attacked Prasanjit and killed him, and he took away this jewel. The lion took away this jewel, and then later what happened is the lion was carrying the jewel. Jamvan, Jambavan, like, who was basically like the king of like monkeys there, like during the Lord Ram's time. The Jaman was there in the Lord Ram's time, who helped him, and that Jaman was there like in Dwapar Yuga. So his son actually saw that jewel, and then Jaman actually killed this lion, and he got the jewel, and he gave that jewel to his son for playing. So behind the scene, when Satyajit saw that his jewel was not there and his brother is also not available, so he thought that Lord Krishna actually killed my brother and took the jewel. So he actually wrongly blamed Lord Krishna for the activity which he didn't do it. So in order to prove that Lord Krishna is not the person who did it, he actually went to the forest, and in the forest actually he saw that he found the whole story, how lion got killed, and then he saw that Jamban's son, he was playing with the jewel, and Lord Krishna say, like, Lord Krishna wanted that jewel, but then suddenly Jamban came and he started fighting with Krishna. So there was fierce fight going on between Jamban and Krishna for almost 28 days, and the more fighting was going on, Jamban was feeling that, Jamban was very powerful. Like during the time of Lord Ram, like he defeated many asuras, many rakshasas. So he's saying that, like, who is this powerful person that I'm not able to defeat him. So ultimately he realized that he's none other than Lord Ram only. Lord Krishna he's my worshipable Lord. So ultimately he surrendered to Lord Krishna, and then Lord Krishna actually showed him that he's actually the Lord Ram. So then Jamban became very pleased with Lord Krishna, and he worshipped him. And then as a gift, he not even gave this Samantak jewel, but also he gave his daughter Jambati, beautiful daughter of Jamban. He gave Jambati as a wife of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna got second wife, Jambati. Then he came back, and then when he brought the Samantak jewel and Jambati, he told the whole story. Then Satyajit, he felt very ashamed. So ultimately Satyajit actually married his daughter Satyabhama. That is the third queen who got married to Lord Krishna, and then he actually performed the marriage ceremony, and he gave many valuable gifts. So then that's the way three queens, Lord Krishna got three queens. The next one is Kalindi. Kalindi is basically the personification of Yamuna Devi, right? So Yamuna Devi is personified as Kalindi, and Lord Krishna and Arjuna, one time they were walking on the bank of Yamuna. At that time, Kalindi came, and then at that time he told Arjuna that I want to marry Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. So that time Lord Arjuna brought Kalindi, and then Lord Krishna accepted Kalindi as his queen. That's the fourth one. Then the next one is Mitravinda. So Mitravinda, she is the sister of king of Avantipura, like Vindhya and Anuvindhya. They were two kings, and then they had one sister named Mitravinda. So they also performed the Swamvar ceremony for Mitravinda. So in that, Lord Krishna actually was present, and he defeated all the royal princes and get the hand of Mitravinda and get married. The next one is Satya. Satya, she is the daughter of king of Kosala. His name was Nagnajit, and Nagnajit has a very difficult condition for his daughter Satya to marry. So what was the condition is that if one person should actually control 7 ferocious bulls, right? So many princes came, they tried, but they all got defeated. So the same condition, actually they should have Nagnajit should have given his daughter very happily to Krishna, but he put that condition to Krishna also, that you have to control all these 7 bulls, otherwise I'll not give. So Krishna actually expand himself into 7 Krishnas, right? and then immediately control all the bulls, and then he win the hand of Satya. So that's the way he actually got the hand of Satya, like by satisfying the condition of the Nagni. Then there was like that's the sixth wedding of Krishna, like the Satya, and the next one was Bhadra. So Bhadra was basically Krishna has like a paternal aunt like Kunti Devi, and then he has another paternal aunt called Shruti Kirti, and she was married to a KK prince, right? And she has a daughter named Bhadra, and Bhadra wanted to marry Krishna. So in that way, actually Lord Krishna actually like got the marriage hand of Bhadra. And the eighth one, these are the eight principal queens. The last one in the eighth one, Krishna married Lakshmana, who is the daughter of king of Madras province. So they are also like actually they performed Swayamvar ceremony, and then Krishna was present there, and he defeated many kings, and then ultimately he got the hand of Lakshmana. So this is the way Krishna got like first eight queens, which are the principal queens of Krishna. Then another 16,108 queens. How he got it? Like there was a demon named Bhaumasura. So Bhaumasura actually defeated many kings, and he kidnapped their daughters or their sisters or whatever, and he actually collected, or he actually imprisoned 16,108 girls. They were all captured by Bhaumasura from different places. So he was trying to perform some kind of great sacrifice. Because of that, he was collecting all these girls. So Lord Krishna came to know about that, and then he actually challenged Bhaumasura. And he actually, along with Satyabhama on the back of Garuda, Lord Krishna went to the city of Bhaumasura and he challenged him. In Krishna book, if you read, there's a big fight going on between Bhaumasura, and there was Bhaumasura's commander-in-chief was Mura, and Lord Krishna defeated Mura. That's why he got name Murari. Like we generally see like one of the name of Lord Krishna is Murari, because he actually defeated King Mura. This demon Mura. So then he defeated Mura, and then he defeated Bhaumasura. So Bhaumasura was very very powerful king, a very powerful demon. But Lord Krishna defeated him, and then when he defeated, he went to that prison, and then he saw that there are 16,108 girls. So as soon as these girls, they saw Krishna and his beauty, they all become attracted towards Krishna, and in their heart they accepted Krishna as their husband. So, but when Krishna was there, Krishna could see everyone's heart, because Krishna is Supreme Personality of God, and he knows what is going on in everyone's heart. So he saw that like all these girls, they were all actually looking for me as their husband. So Krishna accepted that. That's what we basically Prabhupada mentioned the purport. If you go here in the purport, so let's see the purport here, Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. Exceptionally qualified daughter of powerful kings were allowed to make a choice of their own bridegrooms in open competition, and such ceremonies were called Swayamvara, selection of bridegrooms. So we saw that in case of Rukmini, like Krishna actually did the Rakshasa marriage. Actually, he kidnapped Rukmini. And then in case of Jambati, he actually defeated Jamvan to get Jambati. And then in case of Satyabhama, he actually win the Samantak jewel. And then Kalindi, he actually win Kalindi also. Then Mitravinda in the Swayamvar ceremony. Then Satya, and then Lakshmana. So in all these things that he defeated many kings and then got it. That's what Prabhupada mentioned. Because the Swayamvara was an open competition between rival and valiant princes. Such princes were invited by father of princesses, and usually they were regular fight between the invited princely order in a sporting spirit. So I'll just go further, and then here just want to mention that this here, like the last one, these girls were prayed piteously to Lord Krishna for their deliverance, and the merciful Lord, called by their fervent prayer, released them all by fighting and killing Bhaumasura. So that's what I mentioned then. All these captive princesses were then accepted by Lord Krishna as his wives, although in the estimation of society they were all fallen girls. So now, like here, Prabhupada mentioned that although in the estimation of society, they were all fallen girls. What does that mean is that when a girl is touched by another man, like because Bhaumasura actually kidnapped all these girls. So in that case, they generally consider in the Vedic system, they are considered fallen, means contaminated, because nobody married them. Generally, this happened, right? But Lord Krishna, he knows everyone's heart. He knows that how pious, how pure these girls are. So he accepted them, and he not even accepted them. He made all of them queen. And we see that when Krishna married, no, not Krishna married like one by one. Generally, like 16,108 marriages. If someone has to do, means like it will at least take 16,108 days. Means, but Krishna married all of them in one shot. He expanded himself, he expanded into 16,108 forms, and then he married all of them together. And not even that, he actually created a palace for every one of them. So we see in 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, then Narad Muni, he was visiting Dwarka. He saw Krishna in every palace, like 1608 wives were there, and in each and every palace, Krishna is engaged in household duties. Like all the palaces, he saw that Krishna is there, and he's not every wife. Like nobody was feeling like that. Oh, Krishna is not available to me. Krishna is with this one. Krishna is with this one. Krishna was simultaneously present with all the wives, 116,108 wives. So that was a opulence of Krishna. So that's why here Prabhupada mentioned the last stage. So altogether, Lord Krishna had 16,108 queens at Dwarka, and each of them he begot 10 children. So if you see in the 10th canto, there is mentioned that from every queen, Krishna had 10 sons and one daughter. So overall, like we can say 16,108 multiplied by 11. And then here Prabhupada mentioned that all these children grew up. Because see, in case of Pradyumna, he took birth as a child, but he immediately became a young man within few times, because there was a story that mentioned that how Pradyumna was stolen by a demon, and then he was thrown into a ocean. Then he went into the in fish actually ate Pradyumna, and then fish got to the one of the girls who basically, because Pradyumna was in previous life, he was Kamdev. So he was Kamdev, and then he actually get married to his wife Rati. So that was story in the 10th canto. But Pradyumna, and then after that Samba. There are some few names are given here in this verse, like Pradyumna, Samba, and Amba. Samba is the daughter, the son of Jambati. He was very powerful. Actually, he actually kidnapped. He also did the marriage with Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana. Her name was also Lakshmana. So he actually married Lakshmana. He actually kidnapped Lakshmana from the Swayamvar ceremony. So because of that, there was a fight between the Yadavas, between the Lord Krishna's family and Duryodhana's family for some point of time. But ultimately, Lord Balram settled that whole affair. So, but again, that marriage had happened actually. So Samba was very, very powerful son of Lord Krishna. So they all grew up within because there are 16,108 wives multiplied with 10 sons, and then all of them each had as many children as the father. So we can say probably what Prabhupada is saying, everyone have around 10 children, 10 to 11 children. So we can see that they are all multiplied by that. So whole family of Krishna was in number of millions. The whole Dwarka, you can see, not even that Krishna's family, but other Yadus, other dynasty of Yadus, Andaka, Bhoja, they were all basically had a big family. So overall Dwarka was like maybe around billion people probably. Yeah, even millions are there in the family of Krishna only. And then they multiplied by their children, grandchildren. So it will be around that big family. So that was the opulence of Lord Krishna. This is they are glorifying these residents of Hastinapur. They are glorifying Krishna's wonderful qualities that only Krishna can actually do it. Because we see that Krishna is Bhagavan, and Bhagavan means Sage Prasar given given the definition that who has like 6 opulence, in full, complete, unlimited quantity. So that is basically Lord Krishna when he was present there on this Earth planet. He actually showed all these things. How opulent the Dwarka city is, how big this like his family was, and how he was maintaining that. These are all opulence showed by Lord Krishna. That's why Lord Krishna actually present like not even like he like protected the whole family, and rather he actually showed the opulence by collecting. One time actually Lord Krishna brought parijata tree from Swargaloka, from the heavenly planets, by fighting Lord Indra. That was not a commonly possible, because for a human society to get anything from the heavenly planets is not possible. But when Lord Krishna was there, he actually did that work. So that shows that Lord Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. He has done many wonderful acts. So here all these resident, they are glorifying Krishna with these wonderful acts here. So let me stop here and see like if anyone have any comments, any questions they would like to share. I don't see anyone raising hand. Any comments anyone would like to add here?
It's quite fascinating. I appreciate you very much going through in such detail, and how each of those situations have their own unique experience. It just goes to show how personal Krishna is. Just very relishable to hear. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So I was wondering if Narakasur and Bhaumasur were the same person.
Yes, they are same person.
They are same person because Narakasur was son of Bhumi Devi and Varahadev.
Yes, yes.
I see.
Because of bad association, he became a demon. He was with Banasur and this like Kamsa and all. He was basically associating with them, so he became because of bad association, he became a demon.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Very nice class and very nectarian. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Dronacharya Prabhu, you brought a very good point. Like sometimes we see that because because Krishna has like one of the opulence called renunciation, like he's not attached to anything. But here we see that Krishna is very much attached to his family. Like generally, like he was personally attending all his wives, not that like he was not involved in the family or he's not really taking care of that. So if we see from outerly perspective, we see that Krishna is so much a family man, right? Like he's taking care of such a big family and like that, right? Generally we see God which is like detached and which is like not in the like in a family affair, like not this kind of thing. Generally we see the material world is so much attachment, those kind of things. But here we see that Krishna, when he came here, and then he was in so many wives, so many children, so many properties, so much things, so much opulence is there, right? So he might get attached, right? But actually Krishna was not attached at all. Like it's mentioned, like our acharyas mentioned that like Krishna, like he's perfect brahmachari. Even though he was a grasta, he has 1,608 wives, but he was a perfect brahmachari also. So he was not at all like that much attached. He was completely renounced, even though he has so big family. That was a great opulence of Krishna.
And on top of it, being a supreme personality, he didn't make his life easy. It was so much struggle in his life from the beginning, from his childhood. So it's a big example for us that even he was a supreme personality, he didn't make his life easy, comfortable, fun, just to give us an example that, struggle is a part of life and we have to deal with it. Either you deal with it with crying face or, with patiently. So that's a very inspiring, actually.
Well, actually, if I tell you one thing, Mataji, that actually for Krishna, it was not a struggle. For us, it's a struggle, but Krishna for is a fun, actually. Even though from our perspective, it's look like that Krishna like has to fight. Krishna is basically fighting to get everything. Actually, for Krishna is nothing. This is nothing for Krishna. Like for Krishna is coming here and to showing us that nothing is impossible for me. I can do anything, like for this kind of things is nothing. It's just like a piece of cake. Like, because when Krishna can lift this Govardhan mountain on his pinky finger for 7 days and 7 nights, and he can stand without any support. So for Krishna is nothing, he's just showing that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For me, is nothing. So like, yes, it shows like for us is a big struggle, but actually it was nothing for Krishna. But again, if you see Krishna as a ordinary person, yeah, it's a struggle. But if we see Krishna as an ordinary person, then we make a mistake. For Krishna is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. For him, doing this thing is nothing, actually nothing. But as a devotee,
But I feel separation from his love of life from Shriji was painful.
Yes.
Oh, that was a painful moment, or those 100 years when he was separated from her.
Yes. So for Krishna, like one of the important thing what we can learn from this verse is that Krishna is very, very Bhakta Vatsala. So if somebody actually surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will take care of them. See, if we see in the case of Rukmini actually sent a letter to Krishna that I want to marry you, and my brother, he is pushing me to marry Shishupal, and I don't want to marry Shishupal. So as soon as Krishna saw that letter, and he saw that like Rukmini is completely surrendered to me, he did not take a chance, and then immediately whole night he actually traveled from Dwarka to Vidarbha. If you see, Dwarka is like on the west coast of Gujarat. If you see, like is in the like ocean, Arabic Ocean, right? And from there he actually went to Vidarbha, which is near Nagpur. If you are aware of India, like it is Vidarbha district in India, Nagpur somewhere. So the whole night, actually, Krishna, as soon as he got the letter, he reached, and early morning he reached there and he kidnapped Rukmini. So he's so eager to take care of his devotees, right? So he took all other princesses, right? So whoever surrendered to Krishna, he actually not even take care of them, but he protect them. So that's the lesson that we can, or that's the point we can get it, is that Krishna take care of his devotee very well. Once we surrender to Krishna, once we become devotee of Krishna, we don't need to worry about ourselves. We just all wait for Krishna's mercy, and Krishna will take care of us. That's what all these 16,108 wives, they all surrendered to Krishna. They were all surrendered to Krishna, and Krishna, even though they were some, as Prabhupada mentioned, 16,100 who were basically captivated by Bhaumasura, no one could marry them because they were touched by Bhaumasura. But Krishna, like, he did not care about that, because he just saw that they're all surrendered to me. They're all surrendered to me. They are only they are looking for me as their husband. So he accepted. So it means, like, even the most fallen people, if we are most fallen, but if we surrender to Krishna, Krishna will take care of us. That's a very beautiful point that we basically get from this pastime, is that Krishna always take care of his devotee. If we surrender to Krishna, even though we are fallen, even though we are not qualified, even though we have no qualification to approach Krishna or to become associate of Krishna, but Krishna will take care of us. All we need is surrender. As Krishna, as Srila Prabhupada like always mentioned, that Bhagavad Gita verse, Sarva dharman pratajya mam ekam shranam vraja aham tvam sar pape bhyo mokshashyami masucha. If you surrender to Krishna by giving up all variety of religion, then Krishna will take care. Krishna has given this promise in Bhagavad Gita, I will take care of you. Don't worry about that. So that particular thing we can see, like, all the princesses, they were all actually surrendered to Krishna. They all want to marry Krishna, and then Krishna fulfilled their desire. If we all have same desire, Krishna will take care of us also. All we need to do is just cultivate that desire. All right, so thank you. Anyone other would like to share anything? All right, so thank you all. So then we can end now. So Hare Krishna, everyone. Is there any announcements? Anyone?
No announcements. Tomorrow again we meet at 7:50 for the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So
All in one.
Tomorrow morning at 7:50 again. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
कृपा
अनंत
थैंक यू प्रभु
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा।